Srila Prabhupada didn't expand very much on the Ramayana. That wasn't to mean it is not significant. It's very significant to all devotees. Practically speaking, Lord Ramchandra, Lord Krishna, they're one and the same. Of course, Krishna manifests various opulences which we won't find in Ram Leela, and various rasas, which means mellow loving exchanges, which are not very manifested in Ram Leela. I'm going to take this off if that's okay. Hare Krishna. It's a little easier because it moves around. But nonetheless, we find that the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra are very satisfying, very purifying, very enlivening, very meaningful, and totally spiritual. And they have the effect, if we submissively hear these pastimes from the right source, that our hearts will change. And significant, we'll read a little bit tonight from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Ramayan ki jai. Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan Appearance Day ki jai. I remember in 1976 in Vrindavan, we were staying there, and across the road from the ashram in which we stayed, there was a Sita Ram temple. Day and night, 24 hours, Akanda, means around the clock. Akanda Kirtan of Sita Ram. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram. On and on they would chant, day and night, the glories of Ramchandra. Constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The Ramayana was the first, I would say the first script that I read before coming in touch with the Hare Krishna or ISKCON, which really made a big impression on my heart. It went very deep. We'd already read Mahabharata, many versions of Gita, Upanishads, various literatures which were then available in English. It went very deep. But what to do with it? It's wonderful to hear these pastimes, as we've already mentioned. But how does this affect our lives? How does it help us to reach that goal? We saw in this wonderful drama the selfless devotion of Hanuman, Lakshman, Sita, etc. towards Ram, Lord Ramachandra. How can we develop this spirit, this mood? This is the goal of the Ramayana. It's not just to establish Ramaraj or goodness over evil, piety, and all the various expected character or qualities of those in human society. It teaches many lessons in our lives. But the ultimate lesson of Ramayana is how can we come to that platform of complete surrender to the will of Rama. So our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, only briefly mentions Ramayana. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 3 chapters dealing with Ram Katha, Ram Lila. Other avatars, other forms of Krishna also occupy many chapters of the Bhagavatam, and ultimately the entire 10th canto, 90 chapters, deals with Lord Sri Krishna's pastimes. But before we can enter into Krishna's pastimes, we have to be prepared. It's not just a matter with our material conditioning of thinking we love Krishna, or we understand Krishna, or we can enter into Krishna Lila. In many ways, Ram Lila, which appears in the 9th canto, is a major step towards our preparation. If our bhav or our mood is to love Krishna. Maybe some devotees, they do have an eternal loving relationship with Sita Rama. Whatever it is, we have to be prepared to enter into that atmosphere, the spiritual realm, Ayodhya Dham or Goloka Dham. We have to be purified at heart. So in the 9th canto of this great epic, of this great script, Srimad Bhagavatam, briefly, Shukadeva Goswami describes that I'll only mention this to you in brief, because he said, you Parikshit Maharaj have heard these pastimes over and over again. He was very familiar with them. So Shukadeva Goswami just summarized these pastimes. And now I'm going to read a little bit from this 9th canto on this topic of Ram Lila. Starting with text number 20 of the 11th chapter of the 9th canto. Lord Ramchandra's reputation for having killed Ravana with showers of arrows at the request of the demigods, and for having built a bridge over the great ocean, does not constitute the factual glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramchandra, whose spiritual body is always engaged in various pastimes. Lord Ramchandra has no equal or superior, and therefore he had no need to take help from the monkeys to gain victory over Ravana. Yes, Lord Ram could have done everything simply by his desire alone. Why such a great, you could say, endeavor was undergone. Countless, ultimately everyone was delivered, but countless vanaras, countless rakshasas, bears, baboons, so many other living entities took part in this great battle of Lanka, the great search for Sita, to retrieve Sita from the hands of Ravana. Why? Krishna, Ram could have done it but it need not have happened in the first place. Why such a great epic? Well, one reason is so that we can hear it. Prabhupada one time said, Krishna performed so many pastimes. Otherwise, what are we going to think about? We'll be thinking about the news, about our health, our wealth, our family, sport, all kinds of nonsense. So the Lord performs these with Lord Ramchandra and a little bit with Lord Nrsimhadev, but especially Lord Ramchandra and Lord Krishna, unlimited pastimes. Ramayana, how many verses are there in the Ramayana of Valmiki? How many? Come on, Pandits, how many? Huh? I couldn't hear. Some whisper was there. Louder! 20,000. Normally it said 24,000. Normally. There's a little bit of, differences of opinion. But over 20,000 verses. Now that is just a tip of the iceberg, to quote a phrase, coin a phrase. We find, if you ever read, in the various Puranas, particularly the Padma Purana, a whole canto is dedicated there to Ram Leela. Description of various pastimes going into detail why. And there is also described that actually the Ramayana is unlimited. Valmiki has only just given us what we can digest. Millions and billions of slokas. It's unlimited. It's just like when Lord Rama was in Chitrakoot. We don't hear much about that. It was very confidential. It said that there he was involved in Madhurya Ras with Sita Devi. Very confidential. We don't hear it. Practically. There's so many Upa Ramayans, extensions, expansions. Some of them describe some of these things by different great realized souls. But it's unlimited. The Lord is unlimited. His pastimes are unlimited. His names are unlimited, just like the name Rama. Now, it's a lovely name, isn't it? Rama. All over the world we see people using this name, Rama. Isn't it? In the Western world, in the Islam world, everywhere, Rama. You see it tagged on the end of various words. Comfort Rama, Launder Rama, Sinner Rama, Auto Rama, Signer Rama, Launder Rama. So many weird places we see. Ramada Hotel. Ramadan. We're having Ramadan right now. Ramadan. Ram is everywhere. He is purifying. Just to hear his name frees people. In fact, it said the word Rama, the Ra, means all sinful thoughts, activities, reactions fly away. Ra. Ma. And the door closes so they cannot come back in. Purifies our sinful reactions just by the sound Rama. Is understood that three Ramas or one Krishna have the same effect as three Ramas. Very powerful. We chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Stretch your arms, come on. Be like monkeys. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They've just won the war. They all should put their hands up and jump up and down. Some of us are too old. Victory, hands up in the air. Rama, one who is not just the supreme enjoyer, but one who gives unending bliss to those who take shelter of him. Rama. So auspicious. This Ramayana is so auspicious, purifying and preparing our hearts with the right attitude to approach Krishna. Our goal may be Krishna Prema. It doesn't come easily. Krishna Prema is not a cheap thing. So let us hear now from Bhagavatam a little bit more. So this Prabhupada, Sukadeva Goswami, the various wonderful achievements, these superhuman achievements of Ramchandra and Hanuman and all of the followers of Lord Ram, is not the real glory. What is the real glory? Well, let's see if we can find out. There is actually no question. So we're going to talk about some of the amazing effects. It's just like one time Prabhupada was asked a question. Swamiji, can you perform miracles? You know, when people talk about miracles, what do they expect? You're going to produce some gold in your hand or something. There's one famous personality used to do that. Miracle! Gold! Gold! Fly in the sky! Walk on water! Expand yourself! Bring a mango from India. Right now. Different types of yogic powers which generally are described as miracles. There are other ways of addressing miracles. You know, somebody say, it was a miracle they recovered. It was a miracle we survived. We use it like that too. But when you ask a Swamiji, Swamiji, can you perform miracles? Can you show me a miracle? Prabhupada said yes. Everyone's very excited. Well, what is Swamiji going to do now? He's going to show us a miracle. And what did Swamiji do? They're all getting up. They've had enough. Where are you going? He said, my miracles, these are my miracles. And he pointed to the young boys and girls from monkey-like backgrounds, Western world. These are my miracles. See the transformation. That just a few years ago they were behaving like monkeys. And now they are effulgent Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. This is the real miracle. Transformation of heart. It's not enough just to have knowledge. We're not here to enjoy, actually, Krishna Lila. We do. That's natural, it's going to happen. But that's not the goal. That's not the, you could say, the definition or the meaning of pure devotional service, that which I like. Ravana certainly, you know, well, that's another example. In the case of Rama enjoyed the Battle of Lanka. He enjoyed fighting with Ravana. He had a great time. The battle, that scene could have gone on all night. It's such an exciting event. Yujukand in the Ramayana. It's incredible pastimes. Same in Krishna Lila, you know. Krishna may have enjoyed killing Kamsa. That doesn't mean Kamsa was rendering loving devotional service. His mood of devotion was negative, full of anger and envy, like Ravana. But it's the attitude which has to change. Ravana was very learned. Very, very learned in the Vedas. Extremely learned. The problem was he was a Ravana. He wanted to enjoy Krishna's energies. Prabhupada said, just as Lord Ramchandra recruited an army of monkeys, baboons and bears, particularly monkeys, Hanuman, Sugriva and others, Angada, Nila. So many amazing, of course they're all not ordinary living entities, but they're in the form of monkeys. And baboons, and even bears. Jambavan was there, Davida. So many of the great personalities were there fighting for Ram. In the form of animals. Because Rava made a big blunder when he asked for boons from Brahma. Right? He asked for boons, you know, as Hiranyakashipu was another thing, but as Ravana he also asked boons from Brahma. That I not be killed by this, that, the other. But he didn't mention humans and animals. He thought they're so insignificant, I don't care about them. And it was bears, or animals and humans who were the destruction of both his kingdom and him. Because this is all foretold in previous pastimes. We don't have to near enough time to mention anything of Ravana's previous escapades, in which it was predicted that there would be, you know, the monkeys who would destroy his kingdom, and a woman would be the death of him, and a human being would kill him. It was destined. All part of Krishna's pastimes. Just like the drama just now, I don't know who Ravana was, but I don't know if he was really a demon. Is he a demon? Who was that playing Ravana? I don't know if he was a demon or not. I hope not. No, he's not. He's playing the part. Even Ravana is playing a part. But you know when you play a part, the secret in drama, the first thing to do is what? If you're playing in a drama, I don't know about our actors tonight. I love playing the part of Ravana. It's one of my favorite parts. What do you have to do? Huh? What do you have to do? What's the first thing in the drama? The word drama, by the way, has the word Rama. 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 So very auspicious. In fact, in the 11th canto, Bhagavatam, Uddhava says we should reenact these pastimes through drama. This is the way it really goes into our hearts, and we remember these pastimes. Remembrance of these pastimes, by the way, is very purifying in of itself, even without conscious knowledge of what's going on. It has a terrific effect on changing the world, or relieving the other living entities of reactions, etc., just like we mentioned the name Rama just now. So what's the first thing you do in drama? For an actor, that is. What's the first requirement? I don't mean the practice, that's obvious. They obviously practiced very well, the actors, they were brilliant. Huh? Can't hear. Costumes are irrelevant. The best actors don't use costumes. They don't need them. They're living the part. There are actors who played in this drama of Ramayana in the past. In Orissa, there's one famous actor who actually played the part of Dashrath. He died on the stage when Ram left. He gave up his body right there on the stage. Literally. He was dead. He couldn't tolerate it. They so much live the part. They live the part. Completely forget who you are. And totally identify with the part. That is the nature of this world. And when we hear the reality, when Krishna comes to perform these pastimes in the world, it helps free us from this false identity of thinking, I am a man, I am a woman, I am this, I am that, I am Malaysian, I am English. This is illusion. This is the whole problem of the world, that we identify with this body as the self. Now if we're on the spiritual platform, that's different, but we're not. So Krishna comes to perform these pastimes to help relieve us of this illusion. So when we take part in dramas, we forget who we are. We think, I know, I'm a Hanuman. We're not Hanuman, but we meditate on that part and try to follow in his footsteps. This is the path of devotional service. We follow the path of the great devotees. That's what it means. It doesn't mean we do what we want, the way I like it. That's opposite to spiritual life. In the very beginning, like little kiddies, that may be the way it goes. But that's not the way it progresses. Change of heart has to take place. We realize we exist for the pleasure of Krishna or Rama. No other intention. The only thing that matters is the pleasure of the Lord. Progress. So we follow those who have that favorable anugrihena, this favorable attitude. We follow in their footsteps, and by following the path they chalk out, we can gradually advance. We don't make our own path. So let's see. Prabhupada says here. So one of the things that we should understand from the pastimes of Ramayana, there are so many lessons that we're just going to mention one or two this evening. There is actually no question of anyone's being his meaning Krishna's enemy. Ravana is not Krishna's enemy. Neither are the Rakshasas. They may be illusioned. They may be playing that part. But they're all part and parcel of Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that, Mame Vamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We're all Krishna's part and parcel. Everyone. Even those who appear to be inimical, appear to be demoniac. They're just covered over, that's all, with illusion, the modes of nature. The covering's removed, their real identities manifest. There are many ways given to uncover, but this is one of the powerful way, by hearing submissively, of course. Even unsubmissively. If one's fortunate to hear from the right source, one will be purified. But there's no question of anyone being his enemy, but when the Lord wants, when he wants to perform pastimes, he comes down to the material world. Of course, he has unlimited pastimes wherever he is, but certain pastimes take place, just like this particular pastime doesn't exactly take place in Ayurvedam, in the spiritual realm. Fighting with demons, retrieving Sita, being banished. These are special pastimes manifest in this world. He comes down to the material world and acts like a human being. Another reason the Lord does this, he's not a Avajanati Mamoda, he's not a human being, he's God. But he plays like a human being to help us who are conditioned to this idea I'm a human being, to release us from this, to bring us to the spiritual platform. Just like a teacher teaching ABCs. Thus showing his wonderful, glorious activities. Now there's a two-way thing going on here. One, the devotee simply wants to please Krishna. But Krishna wants to please the devotees. In the Bhagavad Gita we see Paripranaya Sadhanam Vanasha Tadusvitam. We hear a lot about the killing of the demons. But the main reason Krishna comes is to bring pleasure. Ramante, Rama, to bring pleasure to his devotees. This seems to be in and out right now, the microphone. Yes. I don't know if it's loud. I don't know if there's anything to do with it, or maybe it's me, I don't know. But he comes to give pleasure to the devotees. So one time one man asked Prabhupada, why is Krishna blue? Why is Rama green? Sometimes devotees ask this. Our Lord Ram tonight wasn't green. He didn't look green. Maybe my eyesight wasn't very good. He didn't look as green as he could. Why is Rama green? Why is he green? Some people say, well, he liked the forest. No, that's not the reason. It's not even because he likes green. Why is he green? Prabhupada said, because his devotees like green. Therefore he appears green. Same with Krishna. Radharani's favorite color is blue. Krishna is blue. They please the lover. Does not please myself. The Ram is green. Here comes another mic. Back to mic. Okay, back to mic. There you go. Hare Krishna. I know I won't use this. Everything is there. Prabhupada says here, to please the devotees. His devotees always want to see the Lord victorious. Just like later verse here describes how Lord Ramchandra, after he conquered over Ravana, settled back into Ayodhya, ruling the world, everyone blissful. He sent his brothers out, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, all over the world to conquer the world. Not that it wasn't conquered, but just to make sure that every king, this is part of, you could say, the business of an emperor, that all the kings are cooperating. They're all subservient to the emperor. Lord Ram was emperor. And they were going everywhere. Some people say, why do you do that? Sending his brother, and Lord Ram stayed in Ayodhya. And they say, oh, he just stayed there enjoying himself and sending everyone else to do the work. It's not like that. It's described there that it was actually a great blessing, benediction, privilege, good fortune for his brothers to take on. A devotee only wants to please the will of the Lord. This is our objective goal. To only please the will of the Lord. Automatically that includes everything else, because everything else is part and parcel of Krishna. pleasing the Lord. Like this. And Prabhupada uses this example, and he gives this statement sometimes, that just as Lord Ramchandra conquered the world, more or less, with an army of monkeys, he recruited monkeys. Monkeys. He said, more or less, this is a hearsay. Not exactly a hearsay, it's from one of Prabhupada's closest servants. He said, Prabhupada said, one of the Prabhupada said, it's a good one, it's not harmful. Prabhupada said, well, similarly, we have also had to enlist an army of monkeys to try to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Meaning us, or some of us. We came from that background. Incredible. Overnight sometimes that transformation took place, on the spot. This is the power of pure devotee of the Lord. Huh? Amazing. The Prabhupada describes this in his later purport, that therefore we're asking the devotees to go everywhere. Conquer the world. Don't just stay at home watching it on TV, on the video, Ramayana. Indian TV, everyone watching Ramayana. Why don't they take up that mission and go everywhere? Everywhere. People are like Ravana. They see everything as an object for my pleasure. They see their wives as objects of their pleasure, their husbands as objects of their pleasure, their wealth as objects of their pleasure. This is the mentality of Ravana. Everyone's got it. Actually, in one sense, he's influencing everyone. We have to conquer over that. He thinks that Sita is the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi. We think it's my money, my this, my that. So this is the mission. As the monkeys, Lord Ramchandra and his associates conquered over Lanka and Ravana, retrieving Lakshmi, bringing her back. Of course, Rama is none other than Narayan. We have to bring Lakshmi back to Narayan. She's with him. But in this illusory world, people think, no, Lakshmi is with me. I will give 10 rupees, or here 10 ringgit to Krishna. The rest is mine. I will build a 5 million or 10 million ringgit house, and I will give 10 ringgit to the temple. Where's my receipt? Why is my name not on the board? Why didn't you announce it? Where's my gift? I am the life member. I have given so many rupees. 1,008 rupees I gave in 1973. And you promised me all the books, all the BTGs, 3 hotels, everywhere I go. I gave 1,008 rupee. And the guy's living in a 50 crore house somewhere in Bombay. Nothing belongs to us. Only the Lord. We have to open our hearts up. Open our hearts, just like Hanuman opened his heart, you'll see rather a Sita Ram there. You don't see all this nonsense inside his heart. Only Sita Ram. We open our hearts, God knows what will come out. All kinds of stuff comes out. Grudges, envy, lust, greed, anger, so many things. Unending material desires. Devotional service, sometimes we see it as a means to fulfill all of my desires. We don't know the secret. It's not by endeavoring to fulfill them, it's when we give up endeavoring to fulfill them and try to fulfill Krishna's desires, then he completely satisfies all your desires. It's the opposite to what most of us think. This is devotional service. This is taught by all the pastimes of the Lord in different ways to prepare us for pure devotional service, step by step. So we're just finishing. Time flies by, and it's almost time to finish. Another 5 minutes. He comes down to this material world. We read that already. To please the devotees. His devotees always want to see the Lord victorious, and therefore to please himself and them, the Lord sometimes agrees to act as a human being for pleasure pastimes. and perform wonderful, uncommon pastimes for the satisfaction. How happy it was to look at this drama. All kinds of emotions. You know, you have the drama. Rupa Goswami describes the science of drama, and all the different rasas. Just like in a meal, all the different tastes have to be there. In a drama, you know, espionage and loving exchanges and intrigue, and you know, all kinds of different emotional factors have to be there in any drama to make it complete. For the satisfaction of the devotees, the Lord comes. Very satisfying. Let's see what else we haven't got time. I'll just jump over to another verse in this 9th canto. O King Parikshit, Shukadev says, anyone, listen to this one, this is one of my favorites. Anyone who orally, that means hears very attentively, orally receives the narrations concerning the characteristics of Lord Ramchandra's pastimes will ultimately be freed from the disease of, not COVID, not even cancer. What will you become freed of? Also, you'll be freed of that, but that's secondary. What will we be freed of? What's the disease we all suffer from? Huh? What's that? You have to speak real loud.
Material desire.
Okay, that's the manifestation which comes next. Huh?
Enjoying material.
Yeah, that comes next. I mean, that's you could say in a sense is part and parcel. We're Nandamaya Bilsat. We do have this pleasure, but it's a matter of where we look for it. But what triggers it off that brings it in the material field? That's ignorance. We're covered by one of Maya's potencies to cover us. Why she covers us with ignorance? Huh? Envy. Envy? You heard of envy? Ever heard the word? It's very deep. All the other things spring from it are envy of Krishna. Enviousness of Krishna. So this verse says that one will be freed from the disease of envy. Wouldn't it be nice to be free to that? Envy has a very, it covers so much we don't even realize it sometimes, how envious we are. And thus, one will be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activity. By hearing submissively from the right source, these pastimes will free us, or kirtan, Ram Kirtan, Krishna Kirtan, free us from envy. All problems are solved. We have no enemy. No one is there. Everyone's part and parcel of Krishna. We know we're becoming freed of envy when you start to feel compassion for those who are inimical towards us. Persons who have hurt us. Persons who, we might think, I have been victimized. This is a modern disease of modern society today. I am a victim. Doesn't do us much good, even if we are thinking like that. We've got to get out of that mentality completely. Start developing qualities of a Vaishnava. So by hearing Ram Lila, one can start to develop these qualities. Will not naturally develop because the heart will become cleansed of envy. I haven't got time to read a bit of purport. We'll read a bit. Because the devotee knows that the Lord is the supreme protector, he thinks, what harm can the so-called enemy do? There's a beautiful pastime in this is in the Ashok Grove in Lanka. When Hanuman came there, we saw that depicted in the drama just now. He came there searching for Sita Devi. He got his tail burned, but he found Sita in the Ashok Grove, and after some time assured her, "Don't worry, that Ram is coming. Ram is coming. He's on his way." And he proved it to her. He gave some ring of the Lord. So after everything was over and Lanka had been conquered, and the idea was that, Hanuman went to bring Sita to Ram. When he entered that grove, all the Rakshasas who'd been tormenting Sita for that year were there. And Hanuman said, let me kill right now. They deserve to be killed for the suffering you've gone through, the suffering they've caused you. And Sita Devi said, no. Whoever they are, they were my protectors. I was living in their grove. I cannot kill them. And she gave a wonderful example one time of a bear. There's a few examples. There's also an example of a pigeon. But she gave the example of a bear. And this example of the bear, one time there was a hunter, and he was being chased by a tiger. He was disarmed. And he was running for his life. The tiger was trying to get him. And the hunter jumped up and managed to grab a branch on a tree and managed to climb up on the branch above the reach of the tiger. And the tiger was at the bottom. And the man's on the branch. Above the man looked up and saw there was a bear sitting in the tree. The tiger saw the bear. The bear was fast asleep. Afternoon siesta. And the tiger said to the man, look man, if you knock that bear out of the tree, I'll eat the bear and leave you alone. The man thought, this is a good idea. This bear is sleeping, so he whacked the bear so hard, the bear fell off the branch and was falling down to the ground to be eaten by the tiger. But just at the last branch, the bear woke up and realized it's falling, grabbed the last branch and spoke back on the branch. Oh no! The poor human being. Oh no! What's going to happen now? A bear! First it was a tiger. Then the tiger said, hey bear, do you know what just happened? That human being just knocked you out the branch. Why don't you knock him off the branch too? He tried to kill you. You knock him off the branch, I'll eat him. The bear said, how can I do that? What do you mean, how can you not do that? He just tried to kill you. No. He's residing in my home. I have to give him protection and shelter. How that works in terms of reality, that's another topic. But Prabhupada says here, according to therefore what harm can the so-called enemy do? Devotee does not have any enemy. Because everyone is Krishna's part and parcel. So when we realize that, only compassion is there. How to awaken this living entity. The Lord says, the devotee is confident about the Lord's protection. To envy other devotees. A devotee must therefore be completely free from envy, especially of other devotees. To envy other devotees is a great offense, a Vaishnava aparad. A devotee who constantly engages in hearing and chanting is certainly freed from the disease of envy, and thus he becomes eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. And that is the purpose of these appearances of the Lord, to bring us back to Godhead, to free us from envy, to free us from bodily identification, free us from sense gratification, free us from illusion. So try to spend as much time as you can hearing Krishna Lila, Ram Lila, and taking that message. The secret is to spread the message, not just to hear it only, but to chant it. To chant the glories of the Lord. To chant in kirtan. And very soon, I think in a few weeks' time, you are having a kirtan mela here, is that correct? I don't know exactly the details. This is a great chance, As all the monkeys, we're not envious of each other. Normally monkeys are envious. You may have noticed that. They were not envious. They all came together with Ram in the center, right? Objective goal, retrieve Sita. Bring Lakshmi back to Narayan. You can't enjoy Lakshmi without Narayan. So they all came together, united. You know, there were quite a few monkeys. And we had about 12 on the stage tonight. 12 monkeys, something like that. In the Ramayana, you'll see the description how many monkeys, baboons, and bears there were. When Ravana stood on the highest parapet, the highest point of Lanka, he could not see the horizon. It was one brown carpet in every direction. To the far, like 20 miles away, he couldn't see the ground. It was just one ocean of monkeys and baboons. It's described there was something like 11 billion to the power of 100 billion monkeys. Phenomenal and inconceivable. The Rakshasas, they were not only Rakshasas, all kinds of beings from the netherworld were fighting. Trillions and billions of them were there. The battle was unbelievable. Universal battle. But they're all, as I say, part of that marvelous pastime of the Lord. So when we come together for kirtan, it's like that. We're united. Prabhupada says when we're together in kirtan, envy goes away. At least for the time being. Whoever's leading kirtan, whoever's there, forget it. Just absorb in the holy name. This is what we're here for. This is the Sankirtan movement. Kirtan is our life and our soul. Is the prime benediction for humanity. Is what this movement is for, to propagate the glories of the holy name. But if we don't ourselves bury ourselves in kirtan, what can we do? We're still in Maya. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalo, kalora stevana, stevana, steva, gatiranyata. There isn't any other way. Don't think you can have 1,000,000 yajnas if you wish. It will have no effect. It might rain, so what? You can perform austerities standing on the tiptoes for 1,000,000,000 lifetimes, so what? You can learn every verse of Ramayana, Mahabharata, this thing, that thing, okay, but it's not the solution. The solution in Kali Yuga is Harinam Sankirtan. So kirtan, whether it's kirtan mela or whatever you call it, I don't know. But the principle of coming together and chanting the holy name is the essential factor of this movement. The most important activity of this movement. And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, whatever sadhana we're doing, if it doesn't help us to develop our enthusiasm for kirtan, it cannot be called a sadhana. It is in fact an impediment on the path of devotional service. That's his own words. Kirtan is the emperor of all sadhana and the only infallible means of perfection. So don't miss out. Doesn't matter how old we are. There's no limits. No hard and fast rules. I think so. Is there an age limit? Is there anyone's allowed? Who's the organizer? I don't know who. No one's here. They're not here. But I don't think there's any age limit. Prabhupada said even a child can chant. Even a dog can chant. You can bring your dog. Register him though first. Anyone can take part. This is kirtan. Because we all belong there. This is our eternal position. The spiritual world means constant kirtan. There's no need for social media in the spiritual world. No need for mobile phones. Fortunately. But kirtan, this is how we ascend this material world. Through kirtan. So please, come together as much as you can wherever you are for kirtan. Kirtan includes Ram katha, Krishna katha, etc. But especially the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Now turn the volume up. One more time. Hare! Come A little bit louder. We want Krishna. We want Lord Ramchandra to hear you. Come on. This loud chanting of the holy name destroys all the ill effects of Kali Yuga. Hands up in the air. Come on, get ready for prasadam or whatever's next. I don't know. Hands up high in the sky. And one more time. Hare Krishna. Sitaram Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Sitaram Jaya Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram, Patita Pavana Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram Jaya Sitaram. Jai Shri Shri Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Ram Navami ki jai, Go Premanande, Haribo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In the same spirit, 3 Haribos for Maharaj. Haribo! Haribo! Haribo!
You have to keep chanting Hare Krishna forever, not just 3 times. That's not enough.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Thank you. Remain on stage. We would like to call our 3 major donors to collect the Yamaha of you. So, number 1 is Dr. Vairavan